토마를 상좀 Chöd 토지네 semparasho.
So to begin with, please listen first, generating the mind of awakening or bodhicitta.
다 세즈 추는 단다 쭉 송화 주바가 나네 되니 남당 뭐만 남바 휴산에다 원에 쭉전 제바보 마치 랍주 주마게 남타데 제당 남타 제발을 정보도 대동도 골레나 파처 두수가 용사마리 파처 호디 자다 뉴자마젠 세진도 되니 단다 두바진도 대마르지 로야지.
That's all. So continuing, where we left off with some about the life story of Padamba Sangye, then when it comes to, the real source of the Chöd lineage, the originator being Machik herself, there are some very extensive commentaries or life stories, a really detailed account of Machik Labdran's life, but that's being, over 100 pages. We probably don't have time to go into such detail here. So Lama Yeshe will instead give us an overview, a brief account of Machik Labdran's life story.
tam Machik labji chumate yomchimi chuba yimbate noju tumane long ting yori sungdo.
So to begin with, Machik Labdran herself is actually said to be an emanation of the Great Mother Prajnaparamita, and there were prophecies. Her birth was foretold in the sutras. So there are prophecies in the sutras.
Teyang Jigten len debut chuba ten sortang kangla kandor jen Jigten pe sort ten sort tende namba nindos.
So there are, worldly emanations and transcendent emanations, or those emanations that transcend the realm, a worldly realm, that manifest in whatever form that is needed to tame beings, in whatever means it is, or by whatever means it is that they need to be tamed.
당보 젤 산제 라 취제 거당 취진지 거니래 다 당보 취제 거대는 네 심진 탐체라 차베 네 심진 취제 이양라 이와 메송반나 인테니 취제 거게 심진 탐체를 차도 요바데 지리 송도 저기도.
And so then we have, the emanations of the Buddha's enlightened mind. There's the different kayas, so the Dharma kaya and the Rupa kaya. And the Dharma kaya is that, all-pervasive space of phenomena, the Dharma dhatu, the enlightened mind of the Buddhas is never separate from the Dharma dhatu, which pervades everywhere, throughout time and space, and spontaneously achieves the benefit of sentient beings.
tene 취제 거 세난다 대히 님보 양의 렉 세난다 tene 순사 동지 염체 뭐 희생 세난다 다 tenso 참아 Yeshe Lama 나로네 조선 거는 조서당 대행이 여러 메서당 레유선나 루진군 다도 상진님보지 손 다디 Yeshe Lama 나로네 텐데지 송도스.
And so whether we refer to it as the Dharmakaya, the Tathagata Garbha, the Buddha nature, the intrinsic awareness, or the Great Mother, Prajnaparamita, so all of these are meant to refer to the same essence as it is described in the Uttara Tantra, that is this primordial nature from which one is never separate.
Machik katsumle, the Machik katsums in the Machik Gune, Getajuk Yezadawa, the Katsumsaya Yesari. Nanin Tevin Kenji Nima Jamzik, Machik Katsum de Pe, Sabos in the trade naso. Tenjay the Pe Sabojindo, Dati Naloni, Tenjaji Sondo. Yanda Dongji Yumchin de Konde Niji Ye Yin Sondo.
Yang Da Dong
Dongji Yum Chimode, Konde Niji Yema Ye Yin Sondo.
So the main, out of all of Machik Labdran's writings, one of the most important is referred to as the bundle of precepts. And so this text, the bundle of precepts, Kinchin Nima Gyaltsen last year gave a really wonderful explanation or teaching on it that was really detailed and precise. And so in the bundle of precepts, it says that the Great Mother, who is the ultimate or perfected meaning, is the foundation or the basis of all samsara and nirvana, or both samsara and nirvana.
Katsum de long tan Dragon Jangon Maching Doni Tobori, take Katons and the Martin Dungeon and Payabondo, Injitola Yomishi, the Jay Tola Kijur Tsar Senori, the Mahubani, June Duma Gaps, Tetin Payawosare.
And so this bundle of precepts is really, really rich and wonderful to read. So Lama Yeshe received the transmission from Drikung Kyabgan Chetsang Rinpoche, and he doesn't know if it's translated into English. It has been translated into Chinese, but anybody who practices Chöd, then it's really, he advises you to read this, the bundle of precepts, because there's so much that one can learn about the practice from doing so.
Taniba Chujin Jikodela, Zuguni Yende, Teni Zugule, Chujikole Zugu Yingba, Tando Parbochele, Dusom Sangye Jip Yom Hesen Kumdo Maser, Hyajik Sa Yema, Sa Yeje Tambo Dorji Tse Guba Namba, Yongje Tambu Hesen Boda Namba.
Omanya Gone Yang Char Sungro Namkin.
Teni Chujin Jikodela, Zugul Nisun Zende Sondo. Teni Chujikole Zugu Yingba, then no Parbochele. Dusom Tange Kale Mandone A. Dusom Sangye Jibu Yom Hisen Kumdo Marser Hyajik Sa Yeba Yema Sa Yeje Tambo Dorji Tse Goba Yongje Tambu Hisen Boda Namba Oma Nyamya Ki Sajan Zejang Hyab Dorji Jidong Sindang Pepsi Demba Te Song.
And so the way that it explains in the Papoche, the emanation of the Rupakaya, how the Rupakaya manifests from the Dharmakaya as the Great Mother. So from the Dharmakaya, spontaneously she emanates as the embodiment of all the Buddhas of the three times, as the Great Mother, yellow or golden in color, with one face and four arms. In her right arm, in her first right arm, she holds a 9-pointed Vajra. And in the first left or second left, she holds a volume of scripture. And the lower two are resting in the gesture of meditative absorption.
Zendang Bezi Dembate, Ne Womena Longju Zubu Gujin Ho Songdo.
Her body, her perfected body endowed with all of the major and minor marks, resides in the perfect pure realm of Akanishta.
Sompa Drubuk
And
Drugur
as the Sambhogakaya form. Sorry.
Drugur Tensor na Yang Tenyi le Yom Juma Lamzi so Tor ne Shagya Thoba Kot Amneis.
La.
Yom Juma Lamzi la Tor ne Shagya Thoba Kot Ambaris.
Tiko Masonko.
Drubuk Kot Tensor na Ta Tanji de Chugo Dang Longu Song Song. Drubuk Kot Tensor na Tani Yom Juma Lamzi la Tor ne Yom Juma Lamzi se na Sangye Shagya Thoba Ko Mayom Ruba.
Ah, that's
O
awesome.
Tomar de la Tor ne Tani Sangye Shagya Thoba Kot Ambaris. Tumbaris.
And so the first emanation, or she first manifested as the Nirmanakaya form in the form of Mahamaya, the Buddha Shakyamuni's mother, who gave birth to the Buddha.
Transe Sarvut Sutam Sutor ne Thomi Kumchi Kot Ambaris.
And then likewise emanated first as in the form of Asanga, the Brahman Asanga, Togme.
Tani Bodhan Khandro Yishin Sojardo Kotor ne Zogwa Chimbu Temba Tarwan Zebaris.
And then in Tibet, she emanated as the wisdom Dakini who propagated the teachings of Dzogchen.
Machik Labdrung Lo Tor ne Hezen Ji Gondong Juyor Saja Chimbu Kawa Jink Jongsu Tarcham Zebaris.
And then she manifested in the form of Machik, Machik Labdran, who propagated the teachings of the transcendent perfection of wisdom.
Tani Tela Sangye Ge Longdi Mambo Songyo Baris. Tati Nalo ne Do Tanyang Jeba Lego Jeju Tsakson Bale. Tani Song Nos.
Do gare?
Do Tanyang Jiba. Do de Tanyang Jiba.
Leo.
Lego Jaju Tsakson. Jaju Jackson.
And so these were all foretold in the form of prophecy in one of the Buddha Sutras, Dading Chepa, in the 83rd chapter.
Nge Tatsige Mandong Nyingma Tsuiba Jebe Tu Hira Parur Simba Ye Truba Labji Druman Jong Song.
So it says that one who will be proficient in debate and will be superior in her understanding of the teachings of the transcendent perfection of wisdom, named Machik Labdran, will be born or will emanate in the land of snows.
Yang Jambar Sajuile Ngayi Temba Nyingma La Chancho Labji Chungcherdo Jerwut Yomji Truba Na Drumaman Jin Jongwar Jor.
Ngayi Tempa Nimala.
Ngayi Temba Nyingma Chancho Labji Druma Lab Magic Lab Dung Tungsa Tek Sajate Lab Rindo Labji Chungcherdo Jerwa Tani Jeryom Heseng Truba Drumaman Jin Jongris.
And so it also says in the root tantra of Manjushri, one who will propagate my and spread my teachings like the light of the sun will be born in the region of Lap in the north. who is an emanation of the Great Mother, Prajnaparamita, with the name Tara.
Teni teke jimi nyingbo ko dong donggeris, zhongdang zhongche resor dochu tenzo la nyor nendrogeris, ta teke ne sanji tenwa jeban jegeris ongdo.
And it says she will understand the unborn, have perfect understanding of the unborn meaning, and will wander throughout villages and towns and reside in charnel grounds, and traveling throughout towns, villages, and charnel grounds.
Yang urjin Rinpoche ke longten le yishin soja te teni gyarwa yomchi mo ko truba reis, sirab le jing tamche ke ma reis, teni maungpa ni labji drumas shiba kan sin zong ne paror de simba ke tong ne teni tomi tsawa tang charwe juba nze ne teni chu darwa teni nang reis.
So kung tate Yeshe Tsogyal gyawa yumchi mo dijela yamcharting machiko
yomchin ke truba yishin soja na teni maungpa ni teni majik labji druma ke jeba teni yigiris.
So also, Orgyen Rinpoche said that the emanation of the great mother, Yeshe Tsogyal, will also emanate in the form in the future as the great mother of Lap, who will spread the teachings on the transcendent perfection of wisdom.
Oh yeah, that dedang de nang yen gotani Chenrezig long Chenrezig yekawa demba long demba ndole ndodang. Tani tela soba ne yishin soja dang dege druba majik labje druma. Dege druba ndegong apsi chuji druma tanda yinsong na long de mambo nang londo.
And then also, there's also many prophecies, such as from Avalokiteshvara, that Yeshe Tsogyal, who is an emanation of the Great Mother, will also emanate in the form of Machik Labdran in the future, who will also emanate in the future as Achichuki Droma.
Labardo origin saksom lengba ka tani termachik nalo la tani ndre songdo. Yishin soja ka tani maung ba druban de na labji drama reis. Tani te yendo nyenam zar saya jigdang. Tani hyanjam saya jigdang. Tani sanrang kargom saya jigdang. Abshi chuji drama saya tani da druba mambo njungri songdo.
So gungtate Machik Labrangi Jelatin, it's Sin Shimbakare?
Nyenamza.
Shamtam? Nyenamza.
Tani rensam hyanjam zole jindo.
Jin Sam Gandre?
Da yana hyanjam puchong ma zogo sari sajam mangmala.
Sham.
Tani sanrang karmala tani kargom saya jigdo. Tani absi chuji drama nanamza chuji drama. Komo da druban jong sin maji ishin soja ga tani longdendo.
So Machik Labran dine Nyenamza Shamjam? Shamjam Tang?
Hyanjam dang sanrang kargom drama zole jindo.
Sangre Kargom
Kargoma.
Gom Joma?
Kargoma. Goma.
Kargoma.
Nanamza chuji drama abshi.
So it is also said that Yeshe Tsogyal herself will emanate in the form of Machik Labdran, likewise as Nanamza, Shamjam, Gangri Karjoma, and Nanamze Achichuki Droma.
Oda tel la soba kan doju toma ne teni abshi chuji drama te yang Machik ko druba ishin soja na tel la soba ko druba yen songdo. Teni ote maji songna.
And so in that way, we can see also how often Just as Machik Labdran is often said to be an emanation of Yeshe Tsogyal, likewise Achichuki Droma is said to be the same emanation of Yeshe Tsogyal.
네 마지 랍지 드라마당 아브시 추지 드라마니나 네 ngo당 생이 꿰는 송바레스 서다나 파만 드라마 네 낭다나 연체모 상와다나 도지 파모 네 무인바 다이향 드바레스 온도
And so Chitana Gare.
체다나 파만 드라마 낭다나 연체모 상와다나 도지 파모
So Machik, Labdran, and Achi are really the same in essence. So outwardly, they are emanations of Aryatara. Inwardly, they are the essence of the Great Mother Prajna Paramita. And secretly, they are emanations of Vajravarahi.
되네 알세 그 다들 마지 그주그 추당 주당 되네 알세 추지 그 다공 그 추당 된소 사마 직발이 송도 벤자오리 송도
Achi Gichu.
앞시 말에 주당 마지 그 주당 앞시 그 추된소 사마 벤자오리 송도
And so likewise, it is, the dharmas of Achi and Machik Labdran are very similar in essence.
마지 랍지 드라마한테 고용 총총감네 빼 짱자 침볼 가봐 임발라 되네 조니 또초 라소발라 되네 또초 나는 요박 나자 탑체 파셔던데 나비아당 되네 사마양베 조던데 나비아 임바 되네 앞시 추지 드라마양 되네 고스 메네 또초라 또용제 바텔라 소바 탐제 남바꾸엔 송바레 송도
So when Machik Labdran was very young, she really had a great propensity for cleanliness. So she preferred to have everything very clean and orderly. But then as she grew older and her realization grew, she began to spend time wandering in charnel grounds. And she, no longer cared about clean or dirty. And she took up took only like discarded garments from the dead that she had found in the charnel ground to wear these as her clothes, as her robes, and only ate, really kind of second-rate food without any interest in delicious food and so forth. And in this way, she displayed the yogic conduct of an ascetic practitioner.
되네 마지 랍지 드라마데 그 베나 지초가 값서 사예박은 라르남 되네 용그 저번남데 요와 앞시 그양데 나기 사예박은 라르남네 연베 되네 노르 자이네 되네 단데 깔랑데 끼발 시데와 끼발 된제 장대와 된제 요리스 된제 인도 다지 넘바 권네 송바 된제 리송네 되네 롬본도르 뭐지 그 앞시 그쭉 된제 양제이기도
Dang kongta de yang achi dang machik nika denda nang yorebe pena dudro la dowa la sopa dang
빈 지바레스 단데 앞 마지 랍지 드라마데 되네 지마감니 콩 요사도 추장장당 양나 콩건 콜 담지 참만 제폰 제모 제나 데바근 되네 네바요아 오 덴조 냠도 되게 리세 되네 또 추장장 나로 되게 앞시 되네 또 추고 또요 제바zam도 마제 타만데 포바 땡랑 데라 소발했더니 밤친스는 로그 소중 콜로 이바던데 그 로준도스
So actually, Achi in the life story of Achi is similar in this regard. That just like having this propensity for cleanliness at a young age, then she sort of cast off dualistic fixation and wandered in charnel grounds, surrounded by corpses and so forth. And in the same way, Machik Labdran also exhibited this same yogic behavior. And after this shift, she also, kept the company of, beggars and lepers without, any sort of trace of attachment and aversion. In the same way, Machik is depicted, in her right hand holding a damaru, and in the left a bell. And Achi is holding in her right a damaru, and in her left a jewel in her peaceful depiction. And likewise, she, in general, in her left is the damaru, and the left, in her right is the damaru, and the left is a jewel. And she, and they both have this, de kepa lagaredo,
konye chebar mandu.
kepa lagachi kongyore.
Kebala, kandong
Kadon.
biya yoa.
And they both, the Machik and Dang Achimiga.
Apsik indana changde.
So, and they both have depicted, around their waist, a belt, like a kongling, or a thigh bone trumpet hanging from their belt.
That tendre te tabu longdin tusu pabatse chusabna doisab sumanagi tene te tusu pula yang madag tene kandro dragma yetendre songoris.
And so in the prophecies also, so as it is said, the more profound the Dharma, the profound to the same extent is the profundity of obstacles or maras. And so there was a period, where there was a decline in the Buddha's teachings, and there was the influence of four Tirtika Dakinis who had kind of taken power in Tibet, in the regions of Tibet.
Tanda dumo ye yong goyate yang Machik labji drama ku kuma jagala molam tropsa ya kongo ko jewa yibo kapsu madag paturwa ke telatine yang madag ba to karsin molam tab yeba tandre ke lorjute tate wo ne yongres.
And it is said that the reason for the influence of these sort of four Mara Dakinis was that in Machik's previous lifetime, when she was the Indian Mahasidda Drubwang, she engaged into debate with the Tirtikas and conquered them in debate. But at that time, he cast a curse that then became the result of kind of the outcome was this, that these four Mara Dakinis came to Tibet.
Ta muday kan ragu ma yedena yalong ka barpa karmo zolechin barpa karpo zolechin do yalong ka barpa karpo
De mutekitsen
muday kan kandro ma te kandro ma ye yo te ba tani check tala tambola yalong la chipa tela tani barpa karmo zogure
de zukbo
mari mangla korang mangla
that's all.
Jagote ke mangla.
So this one of these Dakinis, these Mara Dakinis, had the name Yarlung Barpakarpo.
Tuilong la yang chimo namkha se le ji ji no.
Namka?
Chimo namkha ta mangri no tegas.
The Kandro Shimba Chegre.
Re ta Kandro Shimba ji.
Okay, so Tulong.
Jesa de Tuilong.
Dangming.
Tuilong la chimo. Awon cha de ji che ma no mo namkha.
Chimo Namka? And then the other, who was born in the region of Tulong, was named Chimo Namka.
Tani zang so le shimo jajam zo le jindo.
Shimo
jajam da mangri do.
Jajam. And so then in the region of Tsang, there was Shimo Jajam. Jajam?
Tani Tana Josek Sajatana Shama Jantang Seleji Jino.
Shama Jatang.
Shama Jantang.
And then in the region of Tana was Shama Jantang.
Tani te Kandro, the Mudakan Jagoma Ye Ndruala, te Tamjing Nduriaga Chido, Yihikan Jagomayang Ye Sondos.
And so primarily first, in order to subdue these Tirtika emanations of Mara Dakinis, to subdue them, what was needed was the presence of the wisdom Dakini.
Tani Sayak Sajatena, Machik Labji Druman Tondos.
And so, therefore, Machik Droma took birth in the place called A, the region of A.
Lambo Talong Sesak Lumbatana, Jumo Jajam Sewaji Tondos.
Langpo?
Lampo Talong.
Darlong? So Lambo Darlong?
Lampo Talong se Sajatena. Jumo Jajam.
Jomo
Jajam.
Jajam. Di Sajarivela.
Lampo Talong de Sajarwa. Lambo Talong Sajala, Jumo Jajam Tondos.
Okay. So the Machik Revela, Dampo.
Tambo Machik Nibala, Jumo Jajam. Tangan Horsundo. Laduk Sola. Shama Laji. Tambo Egg Sola Labdun Rizon. Lambo Talong Sajatana, Jumo Jajam Sayaji Jindo. Ladu la Yama Laji Sayaji.
Oh, the Kando Shimbachi.
Kando Yendo.
Okay, lasso. Okay, lasso. So then it was that there were 4 wisdom Dakinis who were born at this time to subdue the 4 Mara Dakinis. So the first was Machik Labdran, who was born in the region of A. And then in Lato, there was the Dakini Jomo Jajin, or Kare Shama, in the Lato.
Ladu Shama. Shama Laji. Ladu la Shama Laji.
So Kando Gitseng Gare.
Kando Tsing Teri. Tani Jima Tela Shama Jamo. Shama Jamochi.
Dine di Kando Gitsen.
Deyang Kando Gitsen Re.
Dang Sacha Gare.
Sacha Shama Jamochi Lando. Te Sacha Mangina Kangina Hamu.
Lasso. So then there was another by the name of Shama Jamo.
Jamochi. Oh yeah, that the Nani Labji Drama de Shira Parsenje Tani Temba Jebar Savas Sadapi Yumayindu that Chöd Jurbares on.
And so of these Dakinis who emanated in Tibet at that time, Labgi Droma, who propagated the teachings of the transcendent perfection of wisdom, was said to be the most supreme.
Take Jumzina Dampa Sangye de Tengril Yo Deva Kap Jigla, Tani Po Undala Sangye Temba Tarne, Jong Hig Nob Drogo Yubaji Konkin those.
And likewise, for this reason, around the same time, so Dampa Sangye also traveled from India to Tibet and resided primarily in the region of Dingri because the Dharma had declined, was in a period of decline at that time.
Tani Temba Nob Drovata, take la Tro Sayaka Chito Jagal, Tani Tro Hualan Rogu Gone, tene kong jagal pep ne turu sirwa samda zamdebo kapso tene or turu zamdebo kapso songena
So the temba
turu
nube kala dini.
temba nubu temba ta temba den bo ni temba den nob rogondo tene kong tene ji zayumo kapso ta temba de munupa ga troji jagal Hyogo gongna tani jagal pipne turu sirwa samla sarsay satana zamdebu kapso.
And so he thinking that the teachings were in decline. He did test yapokomasong. So the temba nu gioba kinne dene jakar la pep yore dene jakar la pep ne dutro la
Re,
garenang
turu sirwa sar. Turu sirwa sayuwa. Kong jagal
Cool
pipne
growth.
turu sirwa sarla zamdewa res.
Okay. So he traveled back to India to the cool grove charnel ground, and he stayed there. He slept there.
Tani jagma sene tani kandroma thamje ke puji namjurba tela tani junchor kande do taya ke tsung gamba serdo tani jamo doin la torne le wondu tamba sanje kong sa somo nga la sangye karmo re toru ne tani danguru chi namjurba pe junchor de demba rindo tani chirang la kagar go sene labaris.
And so at that time, there was a Dakini of the charnel ground who emanated in the form of the Sangye karmo.
Sangye karmo re. Somo re ke tsene.
Gatse sum kandro gatse.
Somo nga la sangye karmo re torus.
So they were she emanated as 5 princess Dakinis riding white tigers and asked what it was that was needed in order to help to revive the Buddha's teachings.
Ane chu namjur ba zumchor dan demba rindu ta chirang la karak go sena labondu tamba sanje ke tene pogla sanje je demba noya la pe nyinga chimbo dos te mono ba ke trohi go sondo.
And so, Dampa kongta dina Dampa sanje dina de pena sumo nga trukin Dampa sanje de kandore.
Re, Dampa sanje ro.
Dampa sanje. So sorry, I had it backwards. So Dampa sanje, to impress or subdue the Dakini, he emanated in the form of 5 princesses riding white lions. And so the charnel ground Dakini, so impressed with this, thought, wow, this really is a great yogin. So asked, what was it that he needed, and that she would provide him with whatever it was that he needed. And so he said that he needed assistance in helping to revive the Buddha's teachings in Tibet.
Tani kadroma tamje ke tani chirang dorje denje sanso sasa tana songs tana hyang natta sa ya ji osari tig zhong songne tani kadroma nam je kadroma nam la tani hyu tani si kadroma nam ji hyarji yi ne kadroma nam ji pul je wa yi ba ke hyarji yi tani ji hyarji yi ba tele tini tani pu do ma jing lab ju drama dang ta jin ja ma tombe ye yu de ba khong na ba pul je ya ke ta ji yen ra wo ji tani ji chao ri song do.
So the Dakini told him to go to Bodh Gaya, to a town in Bodh Gaya, and there he didn't the dorje din la kandroma nam disoji negyorebe.
Oh, dorje ding ke hyang ji ke zhong lo pe ne. Tani kandroma nam ji tani pu do kong number jewa lengwa ke tani shargi nang ne tani Machik labji drama dang kandroma yoyo twa sama pol jewa ya ke junsin tante ji ri lamdo.
And so it's said that, and then this, so he had then this vision of the Dakinis going to Bodh Gaya, and they prophesied that to serve this purpose of helping to revive the teachings of the Buddha in Tibet, that these four, Machik, Labdhan, and the other three, would emanate in Tibet, that they would take birth.
Iba kangla kandor Jigten Sumgon namjang la dunyu song.
And so this is the way in which whatever the transcendent beings emanate in the world, in the worldly realms, according to whatever is needed to tame those beings in whatever manner it is that they need to be tamed.
Oya tambo jewa yisor.
So first there is the manner of birth.
Iba lo yeg lobsor, lo yege lobsor.
So this is first with regard to Machik Labdhan's life, there's her birth, and then her studies of learning to read and write.
Somba johe ji chule hiksor.
Choshi Gichu?
Chule hiksor. Johe jine tani chun zi soren sari, chuse.
And then her disenchantment with samsara and entering into the Dharma.
Ngaba de tujo tensor sina ta tro tensor tupo. Tuba pada sina jaga ke tuto jik nyam tu chansa jab songa.
And then her connection with companions. So mainly, for instance, her meeting with the yogi Topabhadra, who became her consort and husband.
Tani wang ke ju chorwa dang long tensor.
And then empowerment, transmission, or the receiving empowerment and transmission of the ultimate meaning.
Choba nyin chung jamne loma jansor.
And then her gathering of disciples.
Tar nyangin le sor dang je tani doing those.
And then finally, her passing into parinirvana.
Dambo jewa yisor na.
So first, with her birth,
당연히 만동 걸린다. 뒤som 산제 탐지 집요음 되니 톡제락 도진 작거마 되는 심진지 동을 공네 야거 세지저보 왕속 그 세윤 만남 주발 컨트롤스 뒤som 산제 탐지 집요음 톡제락 도진 작거마 세난다다 염치 모은지로 오 때더니 심진 탐지 그 동을 공네 야거 세자스다 그 롱바데나 저보 왕속 세와 그 세지 되니 만남 주서야지 그 거기 지와 이바리스
so dampo de sanje de nguma ku gongma de sanje
마직 랍지 드라마 마직 랍지 드라마 그 고마 그런 그 지방 고마
lasola. So in her former life, so first the Vajra Dakini, who is the heart essence of the Buddhas and the mother of the Buddhas of the three times, emanated first prior to her life as Machik. She was born as the son of a king in Kapila, India, and there achieved the benefit or worked for the benefit of sentient beings. She had her name was Monlam Drup, and also Drupa Sangbo, or Dundrup Sangbo.
monlam drop
Monlam Drup.
되니 얘기 당 얘기 초당 tani rinne riksi sino rinne karena ta tsama hira lo magowa tanje kin chine tani tsama kande sanje kutruba insari sayajik chungmaris.
And she was very, or he, Amon Lamdrup, was very quickly learned his letters and reading. He was very intelligent, and all were very impressed with his level of quick learning. And so they said he must be an emanation of a Buddha.
Tani kong lo gong lo chuba kapso penche ta badra. O Mario. Penche ta putta badra chung durabso. Penche ta
And so when
badra.
he was 10 years old, he took ordination and studied with the master Pandita Pittabhadra.
Tani nsin le dunrup zangbo se ne nsin kong nsin le tani ta ne tani lo som da lama chung du kyo ne tani drat tsema tani parsain ndorwa ngomba la sopa la tani keba tar suima rindos.
And so it was with this master Pandita Pittabhadra that he was given the name Dundup Zangpo. And he became very proficient, very learned in grammar and logic, in the Prajnaparamita, in Vinaya, and all of the different categories of scripture.
Tani lama ki rekdan denpa jik rindo gong ne tani jude yeka wang tezo nang ne wang da menga nang ne chinto tar simba song. Tani jikamni tani lama pe tok nyi ne donru zangbo chu ke tani lama te ngak nugu mendo us. Tani sajan dene tani sanglang seza tani nguru rena sawa jik demcho ku chutu chimbo je yuwa. Chi tela song ne tani sama sangha lami nyamsu dong druba chi song.
And so this Lama, who was endowed with many qualities, he studied with him for a long time and received, all of the empowerments of the 4 classes of Tantra and the Pith instructions. And he was very close with his teacher, but his teacher said to him that there was more that he needed to receive from this Lama, this other Lama by the name of Guru Ratna, in this other region, and that he told him he should go there, he should find him, and he should study unsurpassed Yoga Tantra with him.
Chirang tana sene tani lama de tenpa yina semji mangbo la pin tenpo toba chi yungondo tani tana song ne tani kong tana lem ne tani lama nguru rena saya de ke yang kong nudan tenpa la zeg ne demjo la trukyo zaibya la tro ne wanghi yungzo kor tani wanghi yungzo kor ne choga ngurop top tani chondos.
And so he saw this Guru Ratna immediately recognized that he was a qualified disciple and a worthy vessel, and that he would be able to bring benefit to countless sentient beings. And so he conferred upon him the empowerment of the 64 deity empowerment of Chakrasamvara. And as a result, of his practice, then Dundup Zangpo attained the supreme city. He brought the practice to completion and attained the supreme city.
Yangab yi lama ke tani chu dorje din ke sanso su song la tani modag pala zuba jala song se tani chu memba zuba jik chirang memba su jike zuba tu ma re tani indi chirang song ne modag pa tam jala zuba ji song ne tani gong lo churu kam ne dorje din la modag pala zuba se ne modag pa tam jik pamba se ne modag pa momso jik tani nangba ka tenpa la zuba ndos.
So then he sent him, this Lama Guru Ratna sent Dundup Zangpo to Bodh Gaya. So he sent him there to debate with the Tirthikas, the many Tirthikas who were there at the time. And he said, because there's no one who has been able to defeat them yet in debate. And so he traveled there, Dundrup Sangpo, and at the age of 16, he defeated them all in debate and converted over 100 non-Buddhist Tirthikas to the Buddhist doctrine.
단지 모든 칸로마 예포를 진도와 다때 지야대양 단다 모든 발라 쭈바쭈네 낭발라 쭈용모 갑소 양 모든 바카히 그 모남 다발라 때네 되네 콩거던 발라 노징긴 되네 모든 작고마 예 폴 집어 줌신 되네 지인사리.
And so it actually it was due to, so actually this may have been a mistake earlier, the cause of this, the way I understood this, but so the four Mara Dakinis who emanated in Tibet and caused harm to the Buddha's teachings, the reason for their taking birth there was because during this time, during Machik's previous lifetime as Dundrup Sangpo, when she was or he was in the process of or engaging in debate with these Tirthika non-Buddhists, some of the Tirthikas cast curses, or perverse aspiration prayers, which then led to them taking birth as these four Dakinis or these four malevolent Dakinis in Tibet.
dorje din de kon lo ye yong do ta tik kam ni juzun jome polen ro gu chran polen ro go grace polen ro ma son kon ne teni jubasi gorsi long de ma tel de ne jagar sang so dru je ge na lo la kon juban ze ne yo de bo kap so yang chun chun mang bo song mo kap so teni ting en zen je zel ne tam ta ten zen dos.
And so he stayed there in Bodh Gaya, taming the Tirthikas for 4 years. He practiced and stayed in Bodh Gaya. And then Tara appeared to him and said, now you must go, your time has come, your destiny is to go to Tibet and to tame the beings of Tibet. So hurry up and become accomplished and then travel to Tibet. So, so she gave this prophecy and he then traveled to this as an other region of India to a cave there where he practiced and entered into profound meditative absorption in which many prophecies and magical emanations or apparitions appeared to him.
Da tiki thoran ka kapso lamo chonga hyar zegne teni namjurba chu poda la sesa teni songla druba nyor de chi la teni poga yor de jogu song se ne kona ba o teni chi long tindo.
And so so when having traveled to this Bhadra cave where he practiced there, and in his meditative absorption, he had a vision of the 15 Dakinis of Nairatmya, who dini de famochunga gari song did.
Lamo chonga hyar zegne namjurba chirang teni poda la sesa tena song se tena song la druba jogu chi ne teni polu song se ne teni chi long di nando.
So the 15 Dakinis appeared to him. He had a direct vision of them, and they said, Yogi, you must travel to Potala and quickly become accomplished so that you can go soon to the region of Tibet and tame the people there.
Tene Kong Gumbala, tak nga lo chungchong reisi. Lo chungchong yindi tene Druba sena yang pen tar simbaji yong utom na. Tene bu mugu de ndorgo de ndorka wajik tene jik yindu, tak kandre jik goni ndorgo samne tene samot ang tibu kapso, tene nam langwa ta tene jik kamni. Tene junchor chimbo mahamaya langa tene sone, tene kong longdin nando.
Country Lungtin Nangzong?
Longdin tela chupoda la Drupal sone, tene lamo namo langa Drupa chisin, ta kandar pamo langa yansari Drupa chi sone tene yar sondo.
And so he thought, I'm young. I'm only I'm young now, and whether I really have what it takes, or whether I can really reach the level of accomplishment that is necessary to really be able to achieve this destiny, I'm not so sure. So he had doubt and hesitation, thinking that the people of Tibet are really unruly and difficult to tame. And so he felt discouraged, like maybe he wouldn't be capable of this. And so another vision of Mahamaya appeared to him and gave him the prophecy to practice the Varahi, the dark blue Varahi, and to quickly achieve accomplishment.
Nang langwa kapso tudru jing kanro mate, nga ke lamna si sene tene kanjo ko zuncho la tene, badripu wase sa tena lemne, tene Drupa nando.
And so when he fainted away, and then when he awoke in the morning, he had the power of swift foot, and so it was then that he traveled. He traveled by swift foot to Bhadra cave.
Ta tena jibzo ma langa, Drubwang du xa chubye la tene tumong kongo drubni.
So Jitsuma.
Jibzo ma langa.
Mm-hmm. And so then the 5 Dakinis appeared to him and endowed him with spiritual powers. So he attained the common cities after a very short period of practicing there.
Dawa chegi kamne tene langa, jibzo ma langa xarzene wangkor. Si jo nga kap thorang la, tene kanro man tengna rupa jinjin kachang dang raja to deba. Tene chobo ko zukin jik pimne, namjorba chu pugda jewa, pugda roba ka tok chi go ri sonde tene, o kong ka tene, chikho ka tene, seba ka tene, chor tene, tene namshi te kanro ma ka toka la temne, ore ta kanro ma ka toka la nge tengwe yu samba chi nge chirang sege yin song tene chi song do.
And so they then after 1 month, he directly perceived the 5 deities, the 5 dakinis of the heart practice that he had been practicing, and after then after some time of practicing, he had a vision of a very wrathful, dark blue dakini wearing bone ornaments and brandishing a trident and hook knife. And she said to him, "Yogin, you must prepare soon and go to Tibet. When I kill you, I will kill you, and you should quickly dissolve your consciousness into my heart." And so then she raised her hook knife as if to kill him, and his consciousness dissolved into the dakini.
Tene kong ka tok namshi ten kanro ma ka toka la tam, kodong de manyamber tin kanro ge Sangye lamne tenin kanro ma lam khin dang jen ne teni thoba meba buji yor sasa tana teni koi jiwa yin deus.
And so then the Dakini, who his consciousness had been absorbed into, she blessed the remains of his body there in Badr Cave so that they wouldn't deteriorate, they wouldn't decompose. And then his transport, or his consciousness was transported, escorted by the Dakini to the region of A in Tibet.
Teni kong jiwa yi ko tamya ge tuso de jelo jigdong jigja jumi ni ne razong ni ba jigdong jigja
Chigja
ni jumi
ni
ni
chuni chigdong chigja chuni
jigdong jigja ni
chigdong chigja ni.
uh,
And so the year of her birth was approximately 1102.
oh ya teni oh ya teni tuso de teni talori no chubo ta ge lo ge chi chong ala teni mayong go lom syo nos.
And it was during the year of the horse on the full moon, or the 15th day of the Dawa Gare, or Dawa Sumyo Marwa, on the full
Dawa
moon
nga pa rewa.
during the
Dawa.
fifth lunar month, the 15th day of the fifth lunar month, or the full moon of the fifth lunar month in the year of the horse.
Teni yor ge ngam hyu lab hi bar de la ru ba de che pa yi da sa ge che yin ba. Teni yab nga ba wang song gong bo sa wa ji la. Teni yom bum jam hi sa ba lom su hyu bo. Tende ji ri dos.
So Pawa Ge Tsen Gare?
Pawa gan sen la wang song gong bo.
Wangso
Wang chung gong bo.
Wangchu Gombo.
Amala bum jam.
Boomchang. So she was born, then Machik Labdran then was born in this region of A on this auspicious day. Her father was by the name, or a chief elder of the village by the name of Wangchu Gombo, and her mother was Boomcham.
Lom su hyu yong bo gab su teni yom la pe dewa tang. Teng en zin la ne to ya tang. Teni kanro ma ye ge bomba ye ge chui se ba so. Teni bomba ye ge teni kanro ma ge teni chui se ngom juk tam ji chui se ne lu tam ji sama tang sing song song sam ba teni ge malam mayom la min do.
And so when Boomcham, her mother, was when she was pregnant, she had all of this really sort of these strange and extraordinary experiences and special dreams and visions of, for instance, for wisdom dakinis holding vases and bathing her body in like a radiant milky nectar liquid. And she felt really blissful and warm, and was completely kind of overwhelmed with this blissful and pleasant feeling. So naturally or spontaneously, meditative absorption or samadhi arose in her being.
Teni mayom lusim de yang malam to teni tabu na wa sam ji ma cha ba dang. Teni tsemo yang teni marme sa ba yin do teni mayom ku libo te ke pe ne sama si to ba teni demi den tong to ba. Teni yin ji lingi tam jin zam zam ne ha ko wa teni ngui hi yo ba teni yang chan do mayom.
And so also while Machik's mother was pregnant, she had this experience of profound illumination where everything was kind of bathed in light. And even at night, it was as if there were butter lamps that were lit, illuminating the space. She could see clearly as if everything was illuminated in the nighttime. And she sometimes had these moments of clairvoyance where she could clearly perceive the thoughts and mind states of others.
Tene mo tamje ge ta tensang jomo malampe nombondo tebondo sine tsama ke tende lenglong jondos.
And even other people in the area had many strange dreams at the time, just as her mother also had many strange and auspicious dreams.
Lolo dawa nibutsi nyenga ne tene mayong ge koba nalo ne choko nalo ne a tang hajen nasa te ndung yogo yoba mayong ke tsondos.
And then she also had the experience of hearing from her womb or feeling from her womb the syllables of Ah and Hari Nisa being recited.
Dawa somba nalo ne ama sinbu yondos.
And then in the third month, she heard her calling her name mother, or calling to her mother from the womb, saying mother Ama.
Tene ngala kustar batang tene pudang kurgomchi do ne kurgomchi pudang kurgomchi do zhang ge so go sine tende hiendo.
And so then she also said to her, Mother, what I need is a new white cloth smoked with incense and frankincense and anointed with saffron.
Saga dawa tsi chornga ke jarang sine ta hyoge jarang hyazam na tene kotamdo. Kotambo kapso tene zhang dang pudui ke tene cham kangwa njawu jinta chukwende chaba romo dang medo ge charba pa. Tene kunchuma thado nja cherde wa te nangyin tene hyab ye jang yung komche yogne tene ama kongkam zangam sene tene amambo so tene zeyo saris.
And so then on the 15th day of the full moon of Sagadawa, she was born, and Machik was born, and as she was born, the entire house was pervaded. So it was the 15th day of the Dini Dawasumpa Rawa Dawasumpa? Oh, okay. Of the third month of the sheep year. She was born, and the house was filled with rainbow lights, and the fragrance of saffron and incense filled the entire house. There were all sorts of sounds, melodious sounds, and many sounds, the music of many instruments that reverberated throughout the sky, and a rain of flowers showered down. So as soon as the baby was born, she sat up with one leg drawn in and one leg extended, covered in rainbow light or surrounded by rainbow light. And she said to her mother, Mother, are you okay?
Saga dawa toryo.
Oh, kare.
Dawa hiba rawa. Saga dawa hiba.
Okay, so the fourth, so it was the 15th day of the fourth month, Sagadawa.
Tene kong chi yung kapso trawa la ma jikdo. Tene jaga tang da shimar bo tang o zan barwa. Jibu tsok do tene o karbon tepchong tsam chik yo deba. A karbo gan zin deba. O tene chi knows.
So she had on the crown of her head was a small white light, and in the center, this was marked with the syllable A. Dine gare te chuola dine gare sungin?
Jibu tsok do o karbo chik. O karbon tepchong tsam chik. tela akar bukan sindeba.
So it was, there was this light about the size of a small finger, a thumb, that was at the center of it, was the syllable ah at her crown. Dini? De shimba koma song de tuka karisungyen tuka yangna de trila.
Jagatang chega thola shimarbo.
And on her tongue was the syllable, a red syllable hri, standing upright on her tongue.
Teni konga achen bume sene dowa korang ke jemo. Achen bume ke teni pang chol lang yo mo kapso teni king pugu che mo kapso king dab sewa tenda wo tende je teni mar dang kara tende kanang li hinang li ya tende je yo mo kapso teni sin la konga sin la drunje se mang tan se. Ta kara dang burham do pu mo kapso be yabo se ni yi sondo.
And she also didn't young the mix sumpa yempa sung yembe or the sung matong.
Teni konge jemo ke pang de lang yo mo kapso jin som korang la jin som yo song je ni som jin som nang kha la cha la me zai ne te la ma song e teni jibo ko wu dang jin ta wu je teni jin ta ko wu tam je teni pa tam song sa re tam ne Dampa ko zam ze ne tim pu ko ke deb se ge yo wa tende se yo mo kapso teni mar dang kara ten so je yong du teni pe ten so chama yi song se.
So then, so she had also this a very prominent third eye with a kind of rainbow color, emanating rainbow colored light, and her little sister Bume took her onto her lap, wrapped in cloth, and held her on her lap for a while. And then slowly the three syllable on the tongue, after she gave her a little bit of like sweet white butter and sugar, and the three syllable on the baby's tongue was absorbed, so it could no longer be seen. And she gazed up, brightly with her three bright eyes. And after a while, the light on the top of her head subsided, and the 5 colored lights on her forehead dissolved back into the eye.
Oda Chenrezig kabla teni yap de pebo sarwa teni yap pemdo sa yak keja tu yong kabso jemon bume de teni pomo te bang mar bege gogris ne be ne teni pomo rang goze nalo gu nalo mar teni ya ne teni chukang le pemne bume ke teni phagin la teni amala pomo ngemba mak som jing jing ze jin do teni te yo sa karisi sene phagin le tren wo kabso phagin ka tambun dena ji chi hyo song do.
So then the little sister, becoming fearful, sort of wrapped the little Machik in some cloths and sort of hid her in a corner. And then she, hearing the voice of her father, she went into the into the assembly room where her father was, and she said, "Father, mother has given birth to a terrible child with 3 eyes. What should we do?" And her father said, she said, "Should we get rid of her?" And the father said, "Well, no, first bring her here."
Tene pomo de dena chi hyo song do tene jemon bume sa ya de pomo de yab gu za la che ne yab ji tene pogu chol lang ne yabo ji za yong wo kapso tene pomo de ke ma u ma ge che dana tene a kar bo pogu chi ye ba pogu pon ja ge chi ye ba zam king dos tene yin kan ro ma gen sin da tham ji sama chang do tene yin bume chu ge pomo de tsara le bu yabo chi slo lo ma che tene zhong chen nang tan zo lo ma ju tene te sama yabo chi ne nyar hyo se na ka nang dos.
And so and so then the younger sister brought her to her father, who then when he held the baby, he saw that she had this third eye, this prominent third eye with a very finely written syllable, as if it had been written, with a single hair. And so as he examined the baby, he was astounded and said, she really is endowed with all of the marks of a wisdom dakini. And so he told Machik's younger sister, Bume, please, be sure to take good care of her, protect her, and don't bring her outside. Don't keep her a secret and don't bring her outside. And just keep good care of her, and keep her at home.
Tene ta nyara yangbo se nyara tsara pe jijong yangbo se yongdo tene kong zubo yang pe ji chenpo chongdo. Tene gong lo som ka kapso tene yigzhou omana pe me hong se ne yigzhou tang hara na sa tang tene ngate tia tang ngate tenzo saman dong to rinos.
And so as she grew very quickly. So she was, much larger than other children of her ordinarily were at her age. And at the age of 3, she could recite the Mani mantra, Om Hari Nisa, and the Gate.
Tene chukang la sa nserwa tenzo seken dongsi.
And she also just spontaneously did prostrations in the shrine room.
Tene gong lo ngabu to ni yom ge yege ting yong bo kapso tene da temba chamchi keba chin dongsi.
And then at the age of 5, she was already really proficient in writing and drawing.
Gong lo je la tene yege pe yabo lo hiba yindu tene nima re le jitong ba cha ni re tong to ba tene ji rindos.
Ji tongba sa
Jitong ba.
sa niba or kare?
Cha ni lo to gris nima jig lo.
And she could even actually at the age of 5, she was already becoming capable of reciting scripture. And then at the age of 8, she was able to read the Perfection of Wisdom in 8,000 lines twice in one day.
Tene kong lo ndong do sa gen chun ne jinda yoro wa. O konzo ge tene jomon de jomo chi ji se mon de tene me yin dang mo wa kanzho zangbo ji ge kanzho ma zangbo ji ge zhuba da won do. Nga ge na kong hirap se mo zam ya to go man do. Dan de ge hirap na tene me che ba yin do pe ma se ba ge hirap che mo ri den do. Den re yin do korang gen sin la hirap dre me to sin so.
And so then she was invited. So the ruling king of the area, everyone sort of word spread about this young girl and her amazing qualities. And so the ruling king of the area at one point invited the family and asked them to bring the little girl, their little girl with them. And he was very impressed with her qualities and saw that she surely was a wisdom dakini. And at that time, he gave her the name Shirabdroma. Shirabdroma?
Tene yurmu tamche je jomo se ne ta mayom tele jomo la wazoro wa. Jomo se mo dunzen de sanje chuchuba yimba ngi se ne tene kun sama ke sa dang sinlap tene hyogo yoris.
And so she said, so she went, so she was,
Yurmu yor ji ma tamje korang su jungba tamje ke jungba ge ma tamje ke tani pumonda sanje ju trupa je yinsa res tani tsama ka sadang tani sinap chugo yoris.
And so all of the people of the area were really convinced that she was truly an emanation, a divine emanation, an enlightened emanation of a Buddha. And so they had great faith and they prostrated to her and requested blessing.
Tani kap shegla, tukap shegla, jarbo tikap jarbo teke, jarbo penche dan kedro mangbo jing zhangde chu je tuimo chenpo ji xiam. Tani jiga kap shegla, tani yabyom ni la, tani pomo magsom yoba de chei ho song. Tani yabyom ni chi jarbo zhongda pomo de chei ne senyong de, tani yab jarbo ke, umari jarbo ke, tani yom la, chirang la tani pomo magsom yoba jing do se te kanren do keja yabo keja yabo shete ngone keman rawo insa mare song tande ji song chawa nando.
So when this king invited them invited the family to come and said that because he had heard, of this young girl with 3 eyes, with extraordinary qualities that everybody says is an emanation of a Buddha. And so there was a grand festival in which there were many gathered panditas and scholars. And so having invited them, then he asked, to see and to speak, with this little girl who was said to have 3 eyes.
Jabo ko tande chawa chiyin waka so mayom she ta chune tane ndar ne ling cheng shotho mando.
And so when he asked the mother, he was asking, questions about her, wanting to know more about this special little girl. And his mother was so sort of shy and nervous that she started shaking and she wasn't able to respond, or she was so shy she wasn't able to respond with anything.
Tane ngabda jabo ke pomo drunze, tar pomo drunze de machi labji drumarwa. Drunze le chuji yege hisam se keja chiyin waka so kong hi song na ling yundo.
And so then he asked her, little Dronze, which was what they called her at the time, do you know how to read? And she said, yes, I do. I know how to read.
Jabo ke tane mpakba duba ndo duba chik chirang ke chik tu song he tane drunze ke sumjor ke thoni lo mbakab so tane kenjor tang yege lang khebal tane pomo de patsa pe chama ha le tane jik chane tane penje da tenzo ke chirang ke ta yege yapo pe higen do de yena yang dönda hi song de chawa jin wo ka so yang dönda yang hi song do.
And so then he gave her a volume of scripture to read, and she impressed everyone by chanting it in like 3-tone or modulation chanting. And there were all of the panditas who were present, so they were all very impressed, and they said, that's incredible that you're able to read this so well, but do you know the meaning? And she said, yes, I do know the meaning.
Tene dongxie yongbo kapso da jerbo tang penje da la soba tamje ke tante kandro ma ko truba ji re den do. Songne tene jerbo ko pomo de la nabza sarba por. Tene na pomo de nabza nyingba de jerbo kurang ke ting ke nang do ya. Tene de la soba ke tene pe ji zangbo. Ji zangbo se ne ta pomo le jala tenzo mangbo por. Oda tene zene tene yabyom tang yobo tenzo le tene pomo de ramada saja kariri la madangs tani madba chin tenzo la nzem go tab dang teso nzem go gri nyara yabo thara yabo chi songdo nyatsa yabo chi songdo.
And so all the king and all of the guests who were present, all of the panditas, they all became convinced that she was a very special dakini. and the king offered her new clothing, like special yellow or golden brocade clothing to wear. And he kept her old clothing, garments, as an object of faith, or as a precious object. And he said to the parents, you should be sure to really guard this little girl very carefully, to look over her well, and to not let her wander about, so that she doesn't come in contact with people who have a lot of defilements, a lot of negativity, so that it doesn't contaminate her.
다 던데지게 감님 근데 얘기에 대해서는 초도 사례. 던데지게 감님 마염대 종소마 사례.
And so then it was sometimes later that that Machik Labdran's mother passed away.
Tani kong jemo yodawa jemo bome deke traine gehi adong saya den jene tani geji kyanne bome choji jumon da yihi chen kanrun senda sdube jedong ba lo de jo sone tani yoisalam jedong ba sarwa tande jiri de to saji lo to ba tande jiri ne tani gehi ka alala tan del ke kenjor zangbo mandrawa jendo tani logu por tamba jigso 다 어떤데 지리노 했더니 되게 동다치란 게 히로지 송했던데 지송.
So after her mother had passed away, then her sister took her, who had herself taken ordination, and her sister was studying with a teacher, Geshe Aton. So she took her to this Geshe Aton, who said or who confirmed that she had all the signs of a Dakini. And then he said, let's see, how her reading is. And so he gave her the Prajnaparamita in 8,000 lines to read. And she was able to read it in a very short period of time, in the time it takes, they say, to grind a measure of barley. And so then the teacher, Geshe Aton, exclaimed, "Ah la la, this here we really are witnessing quite a wondrous thing." This little girl, she was able to recite it with 8 different voice modulations. And so he was very impressed and said she would be the best of the recitation monks, and took her under his wing.
다 로페 야고 시간도 되니 동등에 저랑의 희가 연소네 되니 로솜라 게히지가 게히데가 존네 되니 퍼센트 쪽 텔라소바가 동라 랍네 되니 스미든치 되니 게히데가 되니 추지 로봉당 하가 연구만도스 저랑 요르 자탕세서 라더니 자방의 진사와지 요리 디근 돈을 손에 좀더 주소네 되니 나도스.
And so he said that, he was so impressed with her skills, and also offered to teach her in the meaning. And so she and her sister stayed with this Geshe Aton for 3 years. And he taught her on the 6 perfections, the 6 paramitas, the 10 stages, the 5 paths. And after some time, he said that now, he said he didn't have anything else to teach her, so that she should go to this other region and find the teacher by the name of Drubwang Rinpoche, and that she should study and practice with him. So then we can take a break here.
We'll take a break until 4 p.m.
Tare ture mama ayajana punye Tare
kama chik no. Singandoe.
Also,
Kogandoe.
Kogandola.
Olosu. Ta Machik namda nani sumba chuli hiksor. La tani gonglo chuchou kamni jimo mume dang nyamdo lama Drubwang ngoyi jinga chongdo pip. Tani lama ka mume chuji chungmo yege lang keba chi yu seba de nderewe siki jatine. Tani ngayon chune dang o tani rewe tani ngayon chune chi song tani chi song.
So now in the third section on Machik's experience in learning and teaching the Dharma, so at the age of 16, she and her sister Bume went to meet Lama Drapa Mushichin. And when they arrived, he asked her sister if this was the famous girl who was so skilled with letters, and she, in reading or in reciting, and she replied that indeed it was.
Tene ke chungyor chi go ne nyen chi la po de yet sarwa tende chi nyam do tene pecha lo chu mo kap so ja chungyor chi tho ne tene po de yet sarwa tende chi yenda de dang nyam do sarwa tende chi lo tu windows.
And so he had with him at the time a recitation monk who was very skilled in reading the transcendent perfection of wisdom in 100,000 lines. And so in one day he would recite 4 volumes of this in one day with 6 voice modulations.
Tata nordo tana de che de ke chungyor chi po de yet sarwa dang nyam do tene ma che ke chungyor chi go ne po de ni chung ni de lamjang tong ro de tene che ke sar yet sarwa dang ma che ke sar chung ni sar ma sar bon po de chung ni de sar ro do.
That's all that. And so he could recite in one day 4 volumes with 6 different voice modulations. And then one day when this monk and Labdran, Machik Labdran, both began reciting at the same time, when he had finished the 4 volumes with 6 voice modulation, Machik Labdran was able to finish all 12 by reading in 8 voice modulations.
Chaba ke ta chaba ngohi chi la chape ala la chomon de ja chungyor we kenjor ni che la jang che la je na nyebar mando se che tene ja ge yang do mando se tene re ye nga rang ke chune che ne do so ne tene chaba ngohi chi ka ta lo kong den zen do se.
So then the Lama Drubwang Rinpoche was so surprised, just astounded, and he said, "Oh my, alala, this lady surpasses Ja Drugyur, who was the monk who could recite with 6 voice modulation, by 2 modes. I won't find anyone nearly as good as she. So I will make this little lady my official reader." And so he appointed her as the official recitation master.
Nima che la ache che mom bome ke labji drama la ngarangi druba se ne khachu le enro se ne lamdo tene maje labji drome nga mndro nge semjin jin rodon se gu chirang karse ndro na tene druba nyor de chila khachu le phe nga ke yang tene rodon karse zo chong na tene chik chin ngarangi che ge re se ne tene bome ke druban zene tene pumbo thami don khachu le phe dos.
And so then at one time, during this time, her sister Bume said to her, sister, shouldn't maybe we focus on practicing the Dharma so then we can depart to the pure realm of Kichara? And Machik Labdran said, well, it's fine for me if you go. You should go if you want to, but I need to stay here because sentient beings need my help. So if you wish to go, then you should quickly become accomplished and go to Kichara, and I'll meet you there when I've finished my work benefiting beings here. And so her sister departed with body and leaving no physical remains behind to the heavenly realm of Kichara.
Tene labji druma trapa ngoki chinje nudin de zaite do mangbu la long dang. Tene bom denga sondo bom denga hiba so mangbu labne tene porde simba chin. Kayang to wa chebar jin tolan zhongne lama ni de ngejang de zam lo le chu kawa do song tene ji zimdu sena nando.
And so Drapa Mushijin, this Lama could see that Machik Labdran was truly a worthy vessel, a qualified recipient of the teachings, and he gave her many transmissions of sutras, all of the different categories of the transcendent perfection of wisdom in 100,000 lines and 25,000 lines and 8,000 lines and many other sutras, along with extensive explanations of their meanings. As she became very proficient in training with him on the meaning of these profound scriptures, she gave rise to extraordinary realization and was able to offer these realizations to her Lama.
Tene navza yang peimajmo jinga navza penda gu sorda yeba navza dang. Tene ku kado nanga la soba ke tene ye yong jin damba tene ta ne tene wol sorju. Tene kol navza yang kol navza dang tene lamjong dang jeba porne din budin sumze ge tole yo. So ne lama ge ta ngagin chune lo yel si go so. Punchong man de sin da ma ji lab ji man de tene xiachong de jong ru pen zibon do song ne tene jini tene tel jomu xiachong ma sa ya ji chando.
And so her Lama, being so moved by her profound proficiency and realization of the Dharma, he presented her with a very special hat, made a maroon hat with a lotus design on the outside, lined with white on the inside, and shaped like a 10-petaled lotus flower with 5 even pieces of brocade and 5 colors on the back on either side, to the right and left. And he also offered to her a complete set of fine outer and inner garments or clothing, Dharma robes, with a pair of small boots. And so then her Lama Drapa invited her to be seated on a throne of 3-level high stacked cushions with a special new carpet or seat. And he supplicated her and asked her to remain there for 4 years as his principal recitation Lama. And so she looked really beautiful in all of this new attire that she had been given by her Lama. And the Lama also was overwhelmed with the splendor of her appearance and said, when this little teacher wears this small hat, she is so beautiful. And so from that point on, they started to call her. She was also given the name Jomo Little Hat.
Te tu so jarji lakang sasatana azara jik sone tene jagarji poda lage puba la gomde ba ke penjita hi pu do jewa yine labji drama chaba te tada kana yu sene tene ngunhi yu dewa jik ke chaba tene chagando sene maji rang ke sindo
Gongsa at the young church.
te ke tu so jarji lakang do azara jagarji azara jik sone
Yeah.
tene jagar teke tende lagundo se jagarji poda lage puba la gom jamne penjita hi pu la jewa yine labji drama se ya jewa hi ba te tata kawa yori se na za ju gendo se ya ji Machik rang tende ji sin do
So then around this time, there was a kind of some talk that was being circulated by some people that there was also a clairvoyant acharya who had arrived at the king's temple and had been asking about, as to the whereabouts of an Indian pandita who had meditated in Bhadra Cave in Potari and had now been born there in Tibet and went by the name of Labdran.
o tende ji simba ke tin nomo te la labji drama ke malam do kanro ma karmo shek hyane jagarji azara nabu chimbo te sanyi chirang den jagare se ta te suri sin pa ke ja te yimo kapso ta Dampa sanji seva te re se kanro ko sondo.
And so at the same time, Machik Labdran had a dream in which a white Dakini appeared to her and said, a black acharya has arrived from India, so tomorrow he will come to see you. And she asked the Dakini, who is this acharya? What is his name? And the Dakini replied, his name is Dampa Sangye.
Tene te sanyi nima hirwa tang nyamdo tene mulam te demba yena chine tene go sene go selo la te yongwa kapso tene chapa nguhi chinga ta ti gonang tena gondram tena azara ti lamsang go siba tang thogdo thog yongwa kapso maje ke tene sa boya jeyongdo tene Dampa sanji ke sa si ji mando utto korani ke utto tene jinzendo tene labji drama ke Dampa sanji Dampa Rinpoche chi le pula pebade pe ngomsar che sene par shundo. Dampa sanje ji yishin kanro ma labji drama chi bode sunba tewe che ngomsar che tende ji sondo.
And so when she awoke, when Machik Labdran awoke from this dream the next morning, and she wondered whether, this was just an ordinary delusive dream, or delusional dream, or if it was something that was really, meaningful or truthful. And so she went outside, she stepped outside of her door and saw there on the path leading to the monastery, the Acharya himself, Dampa Sangye. And so she knew immediately that it had been, in fact, a dream that was, in fact, true. And so she prostrated to him, but he wouldn't accept it. And instead, he came and touched his forehead to hers. And she said to him, "How wonderful, Dampa Sangye, that you have come to Tibet." And he replied to her, Droma, you are the Dakini of timeless wisdom. It is even more wonderful that you have come to Tibet to benefit beings.
Machik labji drama Dampa sanje la ta ngen rodong kanre chi gogri sene shuyo mo kapso Dampa sanje chi tene pomo chu zang yorne tong mpu pa la zi mpu pa la to zi sene zi tene chawa chu xianpa tong ninju de sanje rang nen sor chu ji temba tene kala nyama hirwa tar yungri sene long tindo.
So then she asked Dampa Sangye, How can I be of benefit to beings? How can I help beings? And he said to her, you should expose your hidden faults. You should overcome all hesitation. You should carry with you what you dare not. You should cut all of your fetters, give up attachments, and keep to haunted places. Know that beings are as vast as the sky. In haunted places, seek the Buddha within yourself, and your doctrine will spread like the sun in the sky.
Tene gonglo nishu tuso chatang sesatana tene nyeche ta kanjo nanglo ni marewe nyeche doije lego ta monga doije lego zeg yongdu tene lo chichuk do ka dege to do jorne tene kai gomba nimi de to ne sorry hiba nga song song do sorry sen sorry zen
So Yangcha.
tene kong gonglo nishu kamne chatang sesa ke sajatana tene shesen lo yongdu tene nyeche doije lego sesa te zeg yongdu tene tena lo chichu de kato de jorne tene kai gomba sanje je kai gomba nimi de to ne tene sore hiba nga song song so je reg hiba nga cho je reg ta so je reg de wo ya lo le hie yong do
So when she was at the age of 20, she be kimsa do kain sena samsam la chi yang ngarang lokpa nang shin chikpa chikchang yorwala dene samsam la kaka de penadi ngarang gi de that namshi la logiyo be la shimba chik logiyo be sigio
namshe ma reo
mare ya
na kong nam da
namshi
rang
la
ro
logiyo dene namshi la kashe chikpa chikchang yorwala kashe yang beti kaka so di chune yo mare so gungo nishu yo be katla
gondo nishu kamne chatang sesa tena
sacha chikla dro yorbe
chatang do 사자 디까 디 사자 때네 되니 도이지 레고 제용도
dugi lego
단다 시생 그 감니 시생 동요 감수 도이지 레고네 되니 동이 그 동도
look back up la oh that's all and so when she was about 20 and she was staying in the region of Jatang, and while she was reading the transcendent perfection of wisdom, the chapter on the Maras, she had a profound awakening or breakthrough in her realization.
reg se da seje reg da seje choje reg da gu soje reg da ne je soje reg da zho je soje reg da yor je soje reg den zo sama den ran yin ge hye song res
and through this profound experience and realization that arose for her, she completely cut through fixation and stopped wearing. She had no longer any fixation to clothing, to food, to praise and blame. She completely released all fixation through this experience.
se soje reg la tene ngama ye na sama karze dang tene changra pe je yo ris tene jima kam ne tene ze po de wa na sa jin dang tene changbo tan zo ka sama yi yo ris
So when it came to food, she prior to this, she had always been very attentive to making sure that she, her food was clean and kind of carefully prepared. But then after this experience, she started taking, the food of like beggars um, and sick people.
Tani juanche ngar muchu je gu darzab tang lachi ju gu tani chugi la soba tani yiga yoris. Yena yang sin jima kamni tani nze po deba tani gu tang ro gu zin mukhe soma gu tang ta tani nang yoris.
And likewise with clothing, she had always had, she stopped wearing the kind of fine, good quality clothes that she was used to with beautiful colors that she had worn previously, and only started wearing kind of the refuse of charnel ground refuse, the clothing of beggars or corpses that had been discarded and were unwanted.
Tani ngema yena neye gomba kona lan zega yoris. Tani jima kamni konga dosa te mangchi ninchu lan zega yoris.
And so previously, she had also always kept the company of, stayed in monasteries and been surrounded by teachers and scholars, monastics. But after this, she took the company with lepers and beggars, and she stayed in charnel grounds. She kept to the charnel grounds.
Tani ngama yena kain lop trabzoyin chi cho la teni kyugu yori. Tani jima kamni nze po dewa tang, changbo tang. Tani ga kancho mancho go chobo tang nyamdan zega yoris.
So di lap sarwayin kungta. Di lap yin.
Oh ya. Tani ngar muchu ju yor sasa, lap sasa ta. Tani di lachu ju yor, tani go yor chatang la so pali yugu yori. Tani jima kamni somi jar kamla penro ya tani ji cha na dos.
So dampo la.
Lap sasa ti sacha tani yuguris, muchu ju sacha. Tani lachu ju sacha gumba dang, tani ga nele yuguris, yor chatang ta zol. Jima kamni tani somi nele yuguris.
Oh, that's so. And before, she had always pretty much resided in the region where she was born, the region of and Lap, and she, resided primarily in the monasteries. But now, she wandered aimlessly throughout the land.
Ta yipa wang ge ju zhor long ten sor de na. Tani chatang do laman chune lo zhang charji lo zhang ye go de ba tanji lo zhang charji tani lama la wang ye hyo hyube lama hyane wang korwa nge menu tani wang sunam lama la hyu ngonji molam yube ngurup nyor do togari song de long tin do.
And so she requested empowerment from her teacher. And her teacher said, it is not for me to give you empowerment. You should go find the Lama, Sonam Lama, and request empowerment from him, because it is with him that you have karmic connection from the past.
Tani lama ge tani wang yong do shamar sha dang mar gu darzab so korn zen do. Tani korang ke mungbo hyagya yamzin saya ji ur de ge yang njokhar jab sumchu la so ba korne ta denzo sama namne jodong son nam lama ke chong do pip. Tani jodong son nam lama la ta traba ngui ji je long tin ni cherang ge do song de wang hyo lo yong wa yin tani wang gro ji sin hyo yong wa kap so tani jodong sonam lama ke yang Machik tani nudin ka lo ma le zagne tani wang na ya ya yi nang dos.
She went to meet this Lama Sonam Drakpa, who was very skilled in all of the outer teachings of the Tripitaka and the inner teachings of the 4 classes of Tantra, and had developed great powers. And previously, he had been in charge of many thousands of monks, but had grown weary of worldly activities. And so at this point, he mostly stayed alone and kept to mountain retreats. The Lama Lakare Shubayimba Des Koma Songongda.
Lama la.
Te Tsamala Yamchar Sumrong Nangtes.
Oh yeah, that's samai.
Re. It's Tes Kale Sumna Gayan Senati me.
Tani lama la tani wanyong te la lame se na tanda de Machik labji drama korang lama teke Machik la rowa che ne tani Chöd sonam lama la wang shuya ga chi de wanyong la tani hya dang mar ku tarzab teke rowa nang duwa kor na tani tarong hyakya jamsi mungpo hyakya jamsi se ya che ke ndrokar sumcho ndrok kharjab sumcho khar la ki yongdu ya la ki yongdu kharjab sumcho phuno tege namne tani Chöd sonam lama chong de phimne tani lama trabang hi jinje long te ne chirang de nga wang shu la nga song tani wang kro chi sin hyung wa kapso tani Chöd sonam lama ke yang tani Machik labji drama nodin de zegne tani wang kro wa ke charji yindos.
And so she was given by her Lama, who told her to request this from Sonam Lama. He gave her some pieces of meat, some good yak meat, and some pieces of red cloth to take with her, as an offering to the Lama before she left. So before she went to meet with him, so not Sonam Lama, but Lama Drapa. So it was Sonam Lama who then told her to go meet and receive empowerment from Lama Drapa, to ask Sonam Lama. Yeah, Sitape go Tomsong. Yeah. So it was with Sonam Lama that then she was given this meat and red cloth, and then she also received from her brother this barley, so 30 loads of barley. So she took the barley and the meat and the cloth when she went to meet Sonam Lama, and she said, Lama Drapa has given me a prophecy and told me that I should request empowerment from you.
Tene Machik labji drama tang tadong te dang nyamdo dombe loma nga la tene Dampa Sangye ne ju yungwa ke tene dolog ke juang sim na korwa ke wang tang tene tengen zeng je wang ye ngo zhu tang tene yang nangka gomji sawa hindu silab che wa ke wang o that tene kondos.
And so then he agreed, and he gave there were 5 of them present who received empowerment. So he agreed to grant empowerment and gave empowerment to 5 people at the time, including Machik. And what he gave was the direct introduction of the called the reality empowerment conferred upon the mind from the sutra tradition in the lineage of Dampa Sangye, and also the supreme empowerment of meditative absorption called opening the door to the sky. Dang.
Yang Dampa ne ju yungba ke jumchor chimbo ke wang nang yungwa kapso tene yishi wapo kap ne yihiwa bakamne tani Machik labji drama ko ko salamaregwa pena hyab salamaregwa namkhala parne tani hewa ga katam ni hutsa yunse tani song ga samjada geje tani songyang yenla zhukyo oda tanzen zendos.
And so he also conferred upon them the empowerment of Mahamaya. And during this empowerment, particularly during the descent of the wisdom beings, Machik Lobdran's body levitated off of the ground and high into the sky. And there she displayed the 24 postures of peaceful dance. And she spontaneously, her voice resounded with the 60 branches of melody in the Sanskrit language. And she entered into a deep Vajra-like meditative absorption.
Tok chunye la toba meba dorje dawa tengen zen ji nyamdang denbe tani kangba la tani ke kangba kanzek la toba meba tani shiro dendro toba tani nangwa lam por ne hingdong ke hingdong bo sela sawa ke saja ji limne tana chumak ko mo namkor sawa ji lojer chakbo da jong sawa ji ne deba soje ke la ma toba ji yoba tana limne tani lojer te ke yang ma ji le so neba si sam neba se ya zam na yang tani neba se ya zam ne tani lanje mangbo roba le dune neba se ya zen do je yang ma ji ke ten zo chama na tani pombo zin do jor on de tani la ma ni ne tam je so nyang por ten zen dos.
And so as she entered into this Vajra-like meditative absorption, apprehending the true nature of reality, her body was able to pass unhindered through the walls of the house. And she disappeared outside and then flew through the sky and came to the base of a tree, or to this tree. And at the base of this tree was a pond where there was this wrathful Naga king who lived. And generally, everyone was very afraid of this pond and would never go there. And the king, sensing the power of her meditative absorption, became really angry, infuriated, and he wanted to harm Machik Lobdran and summoned all of these other harmful entities and demons from all over, like assembling an army. And they manifested all of these really frightening apparitions. But then spontaneously in this experience, Machik cast her body out to them as food, so that then they had no opportunity to cause her any harm. Tini de kapar pardu ya laso.
O sonyang por. Tani sonyang por ne tani lo dajong ke semjin la nuba mazi. Tani jomo ke temba jongwar tamche yondu ta tanda chu ke kasong zobo jik tani lojar dajong te chadoris.
And so they were, being pacified through this selfless offering. And then they offered in return, all of these demons offered their life essence as a pledge to Machik Lobdran. And the king of Nagas, Drapo Dakyung, committed himself to be her Dharma protector and he pledged to never hurt any other sentient beings and to protect the teachings of her lineage. And so in this way, that Naga King Drapo Dakyung is one of the primary Dharma protectors of the practice of Chöd.
Namgong Jumchor Lamo Chemo Ngadang Yarnger, Tani Yang Truma, Demcho Yom Chemo, Jibzun Druma so Yarzang Wang or Silap Longdin Zeoris.
And so then she also had still in these experience of profound absorption in this empowerment, she saw the 5 deities face to face of Mahamaya. And these 5 deities, these goddesses, conferred the complete 4 empowerments upon her.
Tene 연초 yen다 같더니 마제 가와 요데티네 짤 용모 값소 tene 동보셀라 세사티 사자더니 니 어떤데 인도 tene 구장바당지 구장당지 발라마 정도 자롱도 tene 뉴모 미장 구미 지로예 체미 ngo자 자외 사징살 니버 드바스 오다 tene 데스 이거나
Yes. And so then, much time had passed, and the other companions who had been receiving empowerment wondered, where she had gone. So they went looking for her and found her at the base of this tree. And they brought her back. She only had like a small piece of cloth for clothing. And she said to the Lama, without any concepts, I wear no clothes. Empty, naked of concepts, I prostrate without modesty or shame, in homage to the sublime Lama, who truly removes all coverings. Homage to you, who leads to the higher realms. Homage to you, who protects from the lower realms. Chatsang lo yin.
Chatsang lo yin.
Yin kain sena de la yang yore. De pena de gare de solde.
Nibar drba senzepa lama chola chansalo. Torin jinla chansalo. Nensong chola chansalo shi sansane. Tenin chidro tamcheje punchong mandega punchong masene ta labje drama ke wang ngyo thoma songse. Song yonde lama ke tenin duze zeje wang de chiso go to yoris. Chuni dongje wang de ta jochong mandega to yoris song.
And so, so then having prostrated her other companions who were present in the empowerment had pointed out that she had missed, because she had levitated and, gone outside of the assembly hall, she had missed the main part of the empowerment the night before. And the Lama responded and said to them, what you all received was the empowerment based on the empowerment substances, composed substances. But Machik received the ultimate empowerment into the nature of reality.
Tani laryang lama ka tani wang yongso zoba korne wang dongso tolo chune tani lama lepe masiba ka teba tondos.
But still, Machik requested the main part of the empowerment, and so the Lama bestowed it upon her and gave rise to great faith and devotion. The Machik Lama la Deba Chesong, Lama Machik la Chesong.
Machik lama la teba chiso.
So Machik, in this, through this experience, she gave rise to profound faith in the teacher, in her guru.
Dan danji dunsin ka hi nalo ni ngapa thujo tenso la. Tani lama trabu yuenda lajung sewa chi lama traba yudawa lajung sewa rapche bu chune mewa zam ni tani panjur pe yabu yudewa ji yoris. Tele tani lama trawa la traba nguhi jin la. Tani chi jin chune punchong man da tani ngan chule le jeng naro ji seni hyuwa shundo.
And so And so then she had been staying, she stayed for a time there with Lama Drapa. And there was a benefactor of Lama Drapa, a wealthy woman who was a benefactor who had a husband but no children. And so she came, Dini gare kapar partu lo ina, de nima dini de Jimda the Pugu making.
Tani Korang tani Ponjong Manda, tani Konzo Kanchune, Kuni Kanchune, Naros, and Yarshu Kapso, Yarshune, tani Nige, Muzo, tani Pepanjor Sama Kong Buchoga race, tani Labji Drama, Lal tani Lamake, Kandisondos, and Chini Chirang, Echong Sesal, Tana Ladung Kanchune, so tani Dawachil Yo, tani Dawachil Yo ne, tani Bom. Sar sumchu sarwan zu, kong zaman iji tani ngubo tsama chirang bugu yu sena, tani tante songundi Machik la so shundo.
And so this benefactor came one day and asked Lama Drapa if he would let Machik, who was his primary recitation master, come to her home and perform her services there by reciting scripture. And so she said, if she can come to our home and perform her services, then we'll give her whatever she needs in appreciation for her work. And the Lama agreed and told Machik that she should go to this benefactor's home in Echung village and stay there for 1 month, reciting the transcendent perfection of wisdom in 100,000 lines 30 times, and that that the benefactor and her husband would offer her many things.
Tani yang labji drama, tani Sonam Lama katong the pipne, tani nga tandan din bomblo lo do gogri sungundo, tani dro so kande se shuyumo kapso, Sonam Lama ke, tani chu bomdong la songs, ngarjil, tani leji temder yube, drodung chimbo yungri, tani endu, o do gogri sondo.
And so she it was Lama Drapa who told her she should go, and so then she also went to meet with her other Lama, Sonam Lama, with whom she had this profound experience through empowerment, and asked him whether or not she should go. She told him the situation and that she had been invited. And she wasn't sure if she should go. And he said, you should go because there is someone there with whom you have a previous karmic connection. And through meeting with him, you will be able to benefit many beings.
Oh yeah, that tanji Drabang Ngunshi Jindang, Sonam Lama Namyi ka Kayen, tani kong echong la pipne, o ta pip go gomba kati nomotela. Tani kandro makarmo travar magji yobaji sone tani jagarji tuba bada sawaji yori tel tang chirangi tabshin zodang tani ro tong jachim bon jongre sene tani longding ka malam songdo.
And so she had received the blessing of both of her lamas, Lama Munshi Drapa Chin, or Lama Drapa Munshi Chin, and Lama Sonam, both of whom said she should go, that there was an important connection there. So she decided to depart for Echung. And then that evening, she had a vision of a red dakini with a single eye in her forehead. And she said, the dakini said, you should unite as means and wisdom with Topa Bhadra of India. It will bring great benefit for beings.
Yang Torang Gabson Kandroman Tena, Tani Truba Chaje Jinjega, Sangye Tuba Namtor, Tuba Bada Savajik, Tuba Bada Savala, tani tawhi je gone sangha je lamdo sewa yena temba tarje so yungre so ne longdin nang.
And then in the morning, she also had a vision of a dark blue dakini wearing wrathful attire who said, you shall engage in the path of secret mantra through the union of means and wisdom with the emanation of Buddha Kapala called Tubabhadra, and your family lineage will proliferate, and the Dharma, your doctrine, will flourish.
Tani yang tiga thoran kapso tani ngunsomdo bumik karmo chigulu hyongde ba chik livne tani salapamne maja yihi jinkandro dundor chemo chu suwala lama tuba bada kanyi ne ngandana yungwa yen sendo.
So then this Dakini vanished, and then in the morning she started out for Echung, and then she actually saw this white Dakini who appeared to her in person and said, Yogini, you and the Indian Pandita Topabhadra have a karmic connection from previous aspirations. So you should not hesitate, but you should meet with him and unite.
Tani Machik lama tuba bada sewa de sore rai tang juba kaneri yor kaneri sina chawachindo.
And so then she asked, who is this Tubabhadra? Like, where does he come from? What is his family line? Who is he?
La. Ta kawa tawdi abu lama
Hakumta. The Tubabhadra su re tene re kare re kane yongare.
O tani teke lena tani lama bada de tani yor jagar kosala sisa tani reis yab shakya zembo reina sinde sawa re yom mad sewa tang tani lama korang na sanje tuba ka juba tani bada sewa tani sad dinu usom nang jude yelang keba chebar do tani demcho la nga ni pa chutu chimbo tenje ji re yom chimo chu jar de sone tata echong lu yo so.
So the woman responded, she said, this Lama Bhadra, Topa Bhadra, is from Kosala in India. His father was a nobleman of the Shakya line named Ratnasiddhi, and his mother was Samati. The Lama himself is an emanation of the Buddha Kapala called Topa Bhadra. And he is well learned or well trained in the outer canon and the inner tantras. And in particular, he is fully accomplished in the practice of chakra samvara and is a great yogin. He came here in order to meet you, and he awaits you at Echung. So he sent me ahead to greet you.
O tani chirang so wala nga tangwa yen song. O chirang so wala nga tang song tani chirang pero ji song ne tani na nga motele tani maja yang saya tana yu tani echong de la zhong je tokang. O kogdoe.
Tes kosong de deni de Machik.
Machik tani chirang yang pero ji se. Nga chirang pe denjin shuga la tang song tani chi pero ji se. Tani nangbar nga mo ne tani pe ne tani echong de la zhong je tokang la song. Tani sajan dana tani namjurpa magza marhyang do mo la jing hore wa hik kolo demcho ko wangli sindi ma ki yongdos tele tani jagar jike da yom o majar lam song la sam song tani labdrong ke yang jagar ke phal lein jamne tene namjor ba jagar ne swemba wo mamong kale maka khama song we se o tene ji song ko na ba ka song len zen do.
So this woman who was an emanation of Dakini, she said to her, so he sent me ahead to greet you. I shall return, and you, hurry off now, and I, be on your way. And so Machik continued on her way, and then she finally arrived in Echung. And as she came to the roof where she was told that her residence was, she saw a kind of lanky Indian yogin who was staring into space with bloodshot eyes, practicing the chakra sambhara self-empowerment in the language of India, in Sanskrit. And so he said to her, "Mother, didn't you have a hard time getting here?" And then she responded to him in Sanskrit, "Yogin, didn't you get disoriented coming all the way from India?"
Oh yeah, tene o chukang lo phimne tene maje ga bom lo tene kap su korani tene penje da dang jagar ji logic korne pasu chawat chalen se kap ni chini chu ge he ba tene se tene chi je ga su la tene tabhin je yong de kong ni tabhin je o de o ji tene nam ka kang se ba tene ji rin do se.
And so so she responded and then went straight into the shrine room. And she stayed there reading, doing her recitations of what the 100,000 lines of Prajnaparamita. And then sometimes she and the yogi discussed Dharma. And sometimes, she asked him of, stories from his time in India. And then on the evening of the 17th day of the 8th, on the 8th day of the lunar month, she and the yogi entered into the union of means and wisdom.
Tene yuanda mo de ge tene wu den tong de tene marme ge cham me la me ge sek soma member soma yenam samne tene sin le tene lim do wa lim ne te yong wa kap so tene wu karmar ni tene panang ka kha jor de ba tene chi tene wu khado nang ge cham gang de ba jin tong ne tene hyoge de la yuanda mo de lim ne tene ma je la dagung tene tong song sen na lor ju hindo.
And so through the power of their union, there was this immense radiance that shone throughout the entire house. It was so bright that the benefactor, the woman, the wife, the patroness thought that maybe butter lamps had set fire to the house. And so she ran upstairs to see what had happened, where all of this light was coming from. And so when she peeked inside of, all she saw was that the place was filled with rainbow colored light. And then in the center of this were two shining lights, one red and one white joined together. She didn't see anything else. And then she went back downstairs and fell asleep. And when she woke up, she she recounted what she had seen.
Tene maje lab ju drame ke tene longding part cheba na doi gu lu so ma res pomo nin joba de la jingin dang doi gu ro ro res o tene ni dan rowa go dong yong dang mo yong gen tene ni ba cha yo ma res on tene o ta tene ji so.
And so Machik Lavran responded to her and said, ordinary sexual activity is the work of Mara, and sexual relationships between men and women is really to befriend the Mara or double demon of adverse circumstance. So patroness, you shouldn't come in here chased by the demon of shame. How can this be of any help to sentient beings?
Tene toba bara tena hya dun mado yog mado. Tele yog ne tene nenjam la saja yin la pep zondo. Tene jomo te dawa jek le yog ne mbom tsar sumjo lo. Tene yonda mo te yang tene kongni tega sega rin mado usamba ka tene deba ji. O tene indu tene mbiwa yang mambo po ne tene majik labji drama te yang traba ngunshi jindang jodong sonam lama ninja de pimdo.
And so Topa Bhadra didn't stay for long after that. He stayed for about 7 days and then went on to another Kong Necham, Sacha Karela Pepsong, Necham Zewarebe.
Nenjam la,
Oh, so then he went into retreat in a place called Nejam. And Machik stayed there at the house of the benefactor for 1 month and completed the recitation, the 30 recitations of the perfection of wisdom in 100,000 lines. And the benefactor, the patroness, and her husband, so the benefactor gave rise to a great faith. She realized that, even though she had been sort of bothered at first by this union between Machik and Topa Bhadra, she realized that it was really something that wasn't ordinary. And she developed great faith and made many offerings to Machik Ladran. And when they returned to Lama Drapa Ngushichin's monastery, she likewise offered many offerings to the Lama.
Tene ngubo mbuwa nam phone tene ngala tene lama bada sawa choga lang kebo jeke tene tabhi ke jurwa tene che songse. Tene se undu tene chaba ngonshi jinje te dan rodong chimbo jungwa ke temzir yungwa jirang semba pa shunggo ko mares. Yang su jodong sonam lama ke chuk rabde songo zunba na mare. Tene bada saya tene reg ngenpa mare. Tene indu junga mare. Tene rigyu perne tene robo tong ja chimbo tene yon rang dar je sun jungwa le dang temzir yu songne tene lama namni ka dang longde mambo songwe tene bada dang temzir jingba yen nyam gongne tene gonglo nihyo zakzom go teso bada dang nyamde tene yor uso song dos.
And so when Machik had returned, she told, excuse me, she told her Lama Drapa Mushitin of what had happened, that, she had united in the union of skillful means and wisdom with a yogin by the name of Topa Bhadra. And he told her that this was very auspicious, that it will create an interdependent connection that will bring about the limitless welfare of sentient beings. And so he told her that she shouldn't shy away from it. And likewise, then she went to see her other Lama Sonam Lama, bringing many offerings. She went to visit him, and she also told him of what had happened. And he said to her, this is auspicious, and the Topa Bhadra is not a bad person, and she's not a monastic, and so there's no problem. And in this union, he told her her family lineage would increase, and that she should stay with Topa Bhadra because it will create the karma and interdependent connections to bring about the vast benefit of sentient beings for a very long time. And so in this way, both of her lamas again gave their blessing. And so when she was about the age of 23, then she went with Topa Bhadra to live or to stay with Topabhadra in central Tibet. So then we can conclude the teachings for today, this evening here.
We'll read Long Life from the Yellow Prayer Book on page 20. For this realm encircled by snow-covered mountains, you are the source of all benefit and happiness without exception. Tenzin Gyatso, Lord Chenrezig, may your life remain steadfast until the end of samsara. Embodiment of the three jewels, great being who upholds and increases the teachings of the Shakya lion, you perfectly guide others with your excellent deeds. May you, the precious Guru who accomplishes everything spontaneously, live long. Holder of the teachings of Lord Drigungpa, great sovereign of the three jewels, to the power of your peerless compassion and the holy Dharma's peaceful light, you bring relief to beings. May your life be long. Known in the noble land as Ayadeva, you emanated into the Gar clan of eastern Tibet as Chodingpa, the heart son of Jigten Gonpo. May the life of glorious Garchen remain steadfast for 100 eons. 26. May the teaching of the great Drigungpa Ratnashri, Master of Interdependence, Omniscient Lord of Dharma, who has seen all knowable things, be upheld through teachings and practice, through hearing, reflecting, and meditating until the end of existence. Your 1,000 arms are the 1,000 wheel-turning kings. Your 1,000 eyes are the 1,000 Buddhas of this fortunate eon. Your love is boundless like space. I supplicate the Bodhisattva Chenrezig. Thank you, and join us again at 7 p.m. Arizona time for Q&A with Olga.